Welcome into a Sunday night Pop Blender Unfiltered number 66. It's time to talk about the future of Star Wars and the MCU, and specifically coming up is the Mandalorian and Grogu movie and Avengers Doomsday later this year, which they are working extremely hard to move up at least a week maybe. To not go up against Dune, which I'm not saying Dune is going to outpace Doomsday at the box office, but I think it'll help at the very least. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. Got a few little news stories. A lot of stuff I'm going to save to go along on Tuesday with Matthew, but I did want to talk about the future of these franchises and what these movies might do or might not do for them. But welcome in. For those of you, I hope you had a lovely weekend. We had some crazy weather, some great weather. Hopefully it's good for you too. Got a little fence repair to do here, but that is neither here nor there. Hopefully you had a good weekend settling in. Hopefully not going to have a terrible busy week at work coming up, but I am here with a few tabs open and we're going to get into it momentarily. I want to say hey to a few of you guys like Stanley Everhard. Will we get the Carson Teva or Teva? I don't know. How do you pronounce that anyway? I can't remember because it's a character I really don't give a shit about. How about that? Black Series figure in this movie wave. Oh, I'm sure we will. They're famous for those Black Series. But will anybody buy it? That's the question, Stanley. Shane, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. He says, I am awake. And if you happen to doze in and out, so be it as well. I don't blame you. Hardworking man there on Same Time Toys channel. Eric Thurman, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. And thank you, sir. I had to put this one on just for fun. 3 stars in the house. I think he knows a little bit about this shirt, too. And Mando trailer has me wanting to see it, possibly IMAX. Okay, that's good. That's a check mark on the excited, or at least the want to bucket. I'm going to talk a little bit about what they showed at CinemaCon. 17 minutes of footage, pretty much I think the beginning of the movie. It seems like, but we'll get into it. There's an article about it. We'll talk about it a little bit. I'm sure that trailer will probably drop maybe in the next day or two. I have not seen that it has, but you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. What's up, Matthew? Wrenching hard there. Hope you had a good weekend, buddy. Let's see here. Busy Monday for Stanley. Garaf, what's up? A little late. Don't worry about it. I was too, about 5 minutes, but it's okay. Fashionably, Garaf. And yeah. I hope the thumbnail didn't startle you too bad. Uh-oh, fighting words already between Shane and Matthew. Mando Grogu trailer looks boring as fuck. At best a decent episode, but I agree it will probably make 600 million. I don't know about that. I'm going to talk about that as well. G.I. Jet, man, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Clint Jorgensen is here as well. Says Pop talks about Daredevil. We all have to agree in advance. We're all going to remain friends. Yeah, that sparked. Look, passion is a wonderful thing. I love to hear it. I'm glad people have it. I want them to have it. Even if we disagree, I love it when people have the passion regardless. Because that's why we like what we like, man. I mean, it is what it is. And then there he is, Triple D's Toy Dungeon. What's up, buddy? Good to see you as well, friend. Carlos is here. Question, are the new figures in the white boxes still called the Black Series? Identity questions. I don't know. I would assume they are. I'm going to show off something that I got recently. You guys may or may not have seen. As Stanley says, yeah, I know that the actor, fellow toy collector, the 1/6 scale. Yeah, I know who he is, and I mean I know the guy, the character, and everything, but don't know if that figure's still going to sell though. That's the problem. Billy Butch, what's up, man? Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, so So anyway, Carlos bringing in the identity politics into the toy boxing already. What's going on, man? You're gonna run some people off here, man. I would I would be remiss at least run some people off any more than I will. The one and only, the legendary Otis McDonald and the band. Drop the beat. Ooh. Mm. All right, Otis. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down a little bit. There we go. All right. Hopefully the mic's not too hot. Trying to adjust that. Look at a mixer. Gonna get a mixing board here soon. That way I can make sure it's not too hot for you guys. So, something I picked up. Something I picked up the other day. Here it is in all its glory. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The Demon. The Demon. Ooh, in 3D. 3D. Watch this. Watch the magic. Ooh. Ooh. And there we have it, folks. That's right. Complete. With driver and all, folks. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. Spotlight works. It's not broken. It's a little loosey-goosey, though. But it is what it is. I think you guys know what this is. And, yeah, you guys were like, for that price, I'm going to kick your ass if you don't get it. But, yes, the Demon. Super cool. Possible future HasLab. Matthew and I have some Hasbro news to talk about on Tuesday, which I'm sure you guys already know what that is. But we're gonna give our discussion on Lenny leaving Hasbro and what that might mean for the future of the G.I. Joe Classified brand in particular. Everybody has thoughts. Everybody has thoughts on it, and I do too. HK Viper, how you doing, man? Let's see here. G.I. Jetman says, Pop, I think your wish came true. We might see the old Kingpin back in the next episode. Yes, unfortunately, it took killing or fridging Vanessa for us to get there. Yeah, man. Thoughts on Daredevil. Let me ask you guys a question, okay? Just if you have been watching it. These past few episodes, would you have rather have seen Daredevil fighting Kingpin and or Bullseye than a bunch of respawning cops? Would you have rather have seen Daredevil fighting Kingpin and or Bullseye than a bunch of respawning cops these last few episodes? I know what they're doing. I know what they're getting at. I get it. And yes, I want the old Kingpin back. The problem is it's been so long since we had the old Kingpin back that I don't know if they're going to do it right. You know, we'll see. We'll see. I will have thoughts on that episode on Tuesday night for sure. Yeah, man. Don't be jealous, 3-star. You have nothing to be jealous about, that's for sure. But hey, it was $60, and so I almost could not pass that up. Yeah, and the spoiler with I talked to War Chest, and I think I might be getting a despoiler in the mail, and that would top it all off, my friends, for sure. Let's see here. The unboxing video. Not many people would tear open a never seen sun pristine demon box like that. Oh. Yeah, Matthew. I don't know, right? Says we'll never see Kingpin in a Disney series. He's gonna be unhinged. He is gonna be unhinged, and he is gonna be emotional, and that's what worries me, right? Because he is very methodical. They did flashbacks in that last episode with he had Wesley with him, and it was cool to see him again. But you could see just even in those scenes, like the way D'Onofrio was portraying Kingpin in those scenes. Calm, cool, collected. Very short, though. Not a lot with those scenes. But we will see if they're able to get back to that, man. I would love to see it. Let's see here. The G.I. Joe Compendium, Clint. When does that end? I know you and Matthew both know about the Compendium. And if you are going to order it, it looks super cool. I just don't know if right now I've got the money to kind of lay down on that. I know I spent $60 on a demon. Okay, I get it. But even that minimum base order of what, 300, I think. We'll see. We'll see. But you guys let me know when that ends. Let me know when that Kickstarter ends. He did fight Bullseye a bunch. I don't know that, in the one episode mainly, and then episode 1 of last season, basically, I think. But right, I think him and Bullseye went at it, a couple episodes ago, and then last episode he's trying to help him and save him. Graf says, I haven't watched the show, but I'd rather be, he fought cops because I want the show to stink. And there you have it. That's all there is to say. Turk Murphy's Toy Solutions, otherwise known as Checkpoint Bravo Y7F. Don't you forget the Y7F. That's the most important part. What's up, Turk? The Demon would be too deep cut. As a Hab Lab, they'll play it safer. I just think it would be so massive. That's my thing. I think it would be massive. And Eric liked Born Again, episode 4. He dug it. Let's see here. And it says the Kickstarter for the Skybound reprint of G.I. Joe IDW Hammerverse ends in 3 days. If you guys want that, do not forget, set an alarm. Make sure you are in tune with that Kickstarter. Email yourself the link so you don't forget. Clint ordered the Roadblock package. Any one of the packages. They look great. They all look great. Right? And it is a great compendium. Let's not kid ourselves. I miss Wesley too. It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. Clint, the only reason he had $350 extra is because they do their taxes, and that is the fee I charged my wife. You're too much, man. Come on. Snow Cat, and here we go. Speaking of which, what are you guys thinking about the Snow Cat? What are you thinking about? When is the what are we looking like? When was the ship date about that? When was the suggested, recommended ship date? I can't remember. But I know you guys definitely will know before myself. And then you also have the Arctic Hiss tank, which was a made to order. And curious as to when they're going to be taking the money out for that and making that thing as well, which looks cool as shit. Yeah, wintertime. I guess that makes sense, 3-star. Wintertime does make sense, right? I'm trying to think of when we've gotten the other HasLabs. Like, what months, I guess, that they've kind of come out. And that cycle, right? That 18-month cycle or whatever it is, right? That kind of takes the orders and then the production, right? And then they start hitting the shores of North America. Eric says June. Is that for the made-to-order Arctic Hiss? And how many of you guys ordered the Arctic Hiss, or at least put an order in, maybe not going to follow through with it? Yeah, the whale would be cool. I think the price on the whale might turn some people off with this new pricing. It could be just enough, depending on a HasLab. We'll see what that new pricing tier kind of looks like. I honestly thought the Snowcat was going to be maybe more, if I remember right, on my guess. But and Sabir, I got to tell you, welcome in, Sabir. I'm not. You guys are going to kill me for this. I know you are. I don't know if I am as excited about the Snowcat coming up as I was when we got the information and when it went live. I don't know if I'm as excited. I want it, but as we get deeper into this line, and I can see why Lenny, in a way, an opportunity to maybe make his own creations. I don't know what that looks like exactly. I looked up Boss Fight Studios' website, and there wasn't really anything on there interesting to me. So I'm just curious as to that decision. And look, it's none of our business. But if he is able to kind of stretch his wings, make some of his own creations or custom stuff, so to speak, whatever, I fully understand. I could also understand maybe seeing the tunnel, not the light at the end of the tunnel, but the tunnel at Hasbro and the layoffs and what may be coming soon down the pipe and what that means for the G.I. Joe classified line, which has been a surefire for them, but maybe losing steam because judging by the chats, judging by the comments on some other streams, it does seem like people are losing steam. It does seem like people are cutting back. There are a couple people in particular I know that are major collectors that are cutting back, have already started cutting back. And these are people that spend a lot of money on toys in particular. I'm guessing some of that new pricing may very well be part of that and just general excitement overall. I'm still excited for Joe Fest though. And I'll tell you guys what I'm excited for Joe Fest as I hit up a couple more comments. As 3-Star says, November on the Hiss, June on the others. Okay. Sabir says, I'm still not excited about the Snowcat, honestly. Maybe it is because that wasn't one of my favorite vehicles from the 80s line. But so far, I'm kind of meh with the Snowcat at this time, and that's okay. That's okay. Lunchbox Killer, what's going on? Good to see you as well. Since December, that's what I was thinking. Stannis didn't the Rattler ship just before Joe Fest? I don't know. Did it ship just before Joe Fest? Damn. Getting old sucks, you guys. Like, super getting old. It just sucks. It will be pricey moving forward for if it is, in fact, like the whale or whatever, right? We need the boats, though. We need the boats. Passed on the Snowcat, says Turk. Don't think the cat will show up as early as the other ones. Yeah, $700 whale. I don't know if anybody's looking forward to that, man. Right? And yeah, G.I. Jetman, I fully understand that. If this is the first HasLab you've been able to fund, I can totally understand being excited, and nothing should take away from that at all. And I think once I get it, right, and open it up, of course, it's like a kid on Christmas Day, right? Of course it is. Boss Fight, Garfield, Strawberry Shortcake. Fantastic. I mean, seriously, though. Boss Fight, Immortal Champions. Conan, okay. I can see that. Red Sonja, Skeletor Warriors, and Solid Figures. Yeah, it's just interesting, right? To see that move, especially when you have that much passion for a particular line. But again, creativity, to be able, the ability to be creative and stretch out and do some things you've always wanted to do. Not classified G.I. Joe withstanding, but even more so having been in the business, for a while now. Super 7 Cobra Commander with comic book. Okay. Which one was that? I'm trying to think. Let's see what that was, a comic book. Yeah, Boss Fight is a step backwards for Lenny, says Matthew. He still has to move to Massachusetts. That's what I understand. Like, I'm trying to figure this out. We're going to talk about it Tuesday for sure, because I want to hear Matthew's thoughts, especially on that. Yeah, Carlos cuts back a little, a little bit, not enough. A little bit ain't enough for me. Yeah, Joe Fest is going to be awesome. 2027 last year in Augusta. I hate to see that. I hope that's not the case. I have enjoyed Augusta the last couple of years. I think it's been fun. I do. I think it's been fun. Let's see here. And two to spoilers. Only ordered one after seeing the price. Yeah, the price kind of took a little bit of heat off of that thing, huh? I think a lot of people saw that despoiler price and went, right? And maybe that just decided that changed the whole tune for a lot of people. Look, I know when I saw it, I knew I was going to be ordering it, but it definitely felt very, man, that's tough to swallow. But if you're in, you're in. You guys know that. If you're in, you're in. That's all there is to say about that. Let's see here. Oh, the remake issue 1 comic book 4-inch cover commander. Now I know. Okay, now I know what you're talking about. I am going to Joe Fest this year, without a doubt, my friend. And Sabir says, I'd love to know the truth of his departure from Hasbro. We're never going to get that, right? He's going to be as textbook, as corporate speak, as you could possibly be. Because if he wasn't, that would possibly ruin future endeavors. And, in the corporate world, no one really wants to speak ill of the place they left, right? It's not standard practice. Every now and then we get a nugget. Every now and then we get somebody who says something and you can read between the lines. I don't think there's anything to read between the lines with anything that, and I don't even know, I mean, I guess, he's got a statement on social media, if I remember, but nothing too complicated, that's for sure. Yeah, Clint, I get it, and I'm with you, and I hope so too. I really hope so too. I understand. I know what you're talking about, and I'm hoping that's okay. That's some bullshit, isn't it? It is some bullshit, dude. None of that is fun, what you're dealing with. That's for sure. Carlos says, are we sure Boss Fight is in Massachusetts? Chris McLeod works for Boss Fight as well and lives in Rhode Island. Yeah, Matthew could definitely speak more to that. I'll let him answer that in the comments. I am not as educated, and I don't want to tell you guys something I don't know about. Bobby probably will. It would not surprise me. Bobby likes to spill everything, doesn't he? Doesn't just spill it, he just vomits it, right? Bobby just vomits it everywhere. That's what he does. And that's his style, that's his thing, that's okay. You don't have to be as fun as Ronnie Trickshot, man. Yeah, don't worry about that, buddy. Don't worry about that at all. Cost is a big thing moving forward. Cost is a big thing. And like I said, I've got some thoughts about Lenny and Hasbro and moving forward, and I'm going to lay those guys on you on Tuesday night if you so choose to join the Evening Blend. And I'm actually with you, Shane. Like, I actually don't really care why he left, in all honesty, because it doesn't matter, right? It's fun to speculate and kind of ponder that stuff, but ultimately, at the end of the day, yes, I honestly don't really care. I don't think it's salacious. I don't think it's as juicy as maybe we want it to be. He could have gotten a life-changing money offer, right? An opportunity that's hard to turn down. Those things, a lot of times, those are exactly what those things involve, rather than any ill will towards anybody or anything. However, it will be interesting to see the direction, or from a company standpoint, where Hasbro stands in sales and layoffs and things of that nature, because those things do make a difference, and not just for Lenny, but for maybe a lot of their employees. Obviously, a lot of people we don't know and will never hear of, right? And Clint says that voice of Joe Fest, Dave, has hinted at it, but he says that he is not the decision maker. Oh, okay. You talking about Lenny? Not the decision maker? I'd say it's a collaborative effort, if that is in fact what you're talking about. And there's a lot of checks to get through. A lot of checks and balances in that business. 3 stars says it matters when he's the main creative force behind the line. That I do agree with, and his love for the brand is why it's gone this far. It's part of the reason. I agree. There still are other people involved, but that person who is taking over, may have that same passion, right? We don't know, and I'm guessing that person's been in the building for a while now. Yeah, when you've quit as many jobs as I have, says Shane, it's all the same. True. Truth bombs, man. Truth bombs. Oh, you're talking about Joe Fest not being there. And I get it there, Clint. You're good. And I believe if that's what you're talking about, being in Augusta. Yeah, it's usually not up to the person necessarily. But I hope it's in Augusta. It is nice down there. It's hot as shit, but it is nice, and it's fun, and it's small. It's a tiny little town, and I don't know where else they would go. I would hate for it to go to Atlanta and get lost in the sea of city that is Atlanta. I think that would be a bummer. But yeah, Augusta, it's cute little town, man. Got a couple red lights, little street lights, and that's about it seems like. And some golf courses. Savannah would be beautiful. Yeah, Savannah would be beautiful. And it's small, right? A small town. Okay. All right. I bullshitted enough with you guys. Let's take a look at the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer. And see what you guys think about that. Official Mandalorian and Grogu trailer. Because as I furiously type away, I am definitely going to be pausing this frequently. And I want to get it from the official Star Wars channel, because I really want to see just how many views that this trailer has. So we're going to go, let's see here. See if I can go to this channel. Okay. Show you guys. Todd C, what's up? Joe Fan 84, how you doing? Okay. This is the official Star Wars channel. Official Star Wars YouTube channel. And 3 days ago, we got the final trailer for the Star Wars The Mandalorian and Grogu. It has 3.8 million views. 3.8 million views in 3 days. That is nothing. And I mean nothing. Relative to other Evil Dookie, how you doing? 3.8 million views on the final Mandalorian and Grogu trailer is nothing in the grand scheme of things. If you guys just do a little research, if you just look at some of the various trailers that have come out for some of these bigger movies, and you look at the discrepancy between those views on those trailers, like Harry Potter, for instance, which is a TV show, even some of the Doomsday, which those trailers are nothing burgers, but Super Mario Brothers or Super Mario Galaxy, okay, those numbers are huge. Evil Dookie says, tongue bathe that like button. I love that. Yeah, no, this is brand new. Well, 3 days ago. And then also, they showed 17 minutes of footage at CinemaCon this past weekend. And I'm going to talk about that 17 minutes of footage per a Variety article. It's descriptive. It talks about it. And And so we're going to talk about that and talk a little bit about what's in that they showed at CinemaCon. But this is the official trailer for The Mandalorian and Grogu. Let's take a look. There is some, God knows there's some music in here. And so we'll do our best to pause it. And then you guys tell me what you think about this. I know, Todd, right? We're not going to play a bunch of seconds in a row. We're gonna have to pause it up, right? All right.
We've all heard stories.
So right away we get the Yoda theme, and here he is. Here is if it happens, I swear to God, like, could they possibly be watching a channel like mine, a small channel like mine? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, mirroring the trailer, man, I don't even know if I could flip it really quick, right? It is the bots, I know. It is the bots. I'm just kidding. There are no humans watching YouTube anymore. But anyway, okay, so we get the sentimental music, and we get Sigourney Weaver with her voiceover.
Of the Mandalorian bounty hunter and a child.
All right. So we're already hitting you right off the get-go. Here we are. Yojo Daddy, Big 6'10", Yojo Daddy. What's up, Lick That Like Maine? And yes, Joe fan, 71 years young, your mom. Happy birthday to your mammy.
I only hunt Imperial war criminals. I'll
Okay,
take out every bad guy in your deck of cards.
Is it just me, or does Pedro Pascal sound like he's phoning in this performance? It sounded like the last season or two he was phoning in his voice performance. And I just, like, is this going to resonate with moviegoers, with casuals who haven't watched the show? There's a new Star Wars movie. And, because you've seen, only 3.8 million people watched the trailer, the final trailer, in 3 days. Casuals are going to come into this, and they're going to, think about, what the fuck happened to Boba Fett's armor? But number two, this voice acting, man, like, there's no emotion from this guy.
Criminals. I'll take out every bad guy in your deck of cards.
I'll take out every bad guy in your deck of cards. Oh no, Grogu, don't you do that. Stop it. Okay, we get snow troopers. I can't wait. I can't wait to read you guys this article from Variety. I can't wait, because are these snow troopers? Is this snow troopers to you guys? Right. Mysterious, but and removes, inflection. It also removes emotion. He has no emotion. None at all. These are snow troopers, right? I mean, I'm just guessing. I had the figure. I still have the figure. All right. We see these, I guess, a little robot. I don't know who this new character is here. Not sure who this is. It does not ring a bell for me. But anyway.
This isn't about...
Hang on a second.
This isn't a...
I want to go back. Okay. Does every hut have the same diet? Do they all eat those frog things in the glass bowl that swim around, the little frogs or whatever? Do they all have the same diet? Flashes of member berries.
This isn't about revenge. It's about preventing another war.
Now, remember, folks, all roads lead to the sequel trilogy. So this is about preventing another war. All roads lead to the sequel trilogy.
Before going into...
Ooh, there's a Y-wing up top. Check it out, check it out, check it out. The Y-wing up top in the screen. Sweet. Yeah, and I can't remember his name though. I can't remember his name. But I remember maybe seeing him in Clone Wars. I can't remember seeing him in Rebels, but I think I remember seeing him in Clone Wars. But I just can't remember his name.
Arm's way. Check your armor first.
Wait. You mean his robe? And I know I'm dissecting this like shot for shot, basically, but I'm just having fun.
We're protecting everything the rebellion fought for.
Oh, wait a minute.
Protecting everything the rebellion fought for.
Is she part of Gold Squad? Gold Leader? I want to see her getting down from that. I want to see Sigourney Weaver getting down from the ladder.
Good luck.
Oh, there's our Babu Fricks. Even though they're not Babu Frick, but everybody knows these as Babu Fricks. I challenge you to watch the reaction channels to this trailer. The people that are like overly excited, hyped about it, like they go, "Oh my God!" And every one of them, when they see those little guys, they're like, "It's Babu Fricks! It's Babu Fricks!" They're not Babu Fricks. Okay, they have a name, but that's what they all said. Oh my God, look at the Babu Fricks! It's the Babu Fricks!
Strap it.
Okay, we get the return of the ship. The Razor Crest is back. Razor Crest is back.
Strap in.
Wait, what? What'd he say?
We need a professional.
All right. We got the little walkers, reminiscent from Clone Wars, if you guys remember those from the Clone Wars, or and from the prequel trilogy.
Hang on.
Now, this part of this trailer is from part of the 17 minutes that they showed at CinemaCon this past weekend. So they did show this main whole kind of fight scene here that we're seeing. Yeah, Galaxy Quest outfits Sigourney far better than any X-Wing costume.
What happens when you're not there to protect him?
You good?
Yeah. I mean, this is a cool looking character, right? I mean, this is a cool character, and yeah, it is been shown. He has been shown before, but cool design. I like this. I'm guessing, what used to be a rival bounty hunter. Maybe that's part of our story here. Now that Mando works for the I don't even know what the fuck they're called, the New Republic, I guess. And maybe this guy was an old acquaintance. All right, maybe an old ally, possibly a rival, and so maybe that's part of the storyline, right? Coming back in from the Bounty Hunters Guild or something like that.
I'll be right behind you.
Yeah. Yep. This 50-year-old child right here, who still doesn't talk, by the way.
Go. Go.
Mandalorian.
Uh-oh. So we definitely had to get our mandatory Din Djarin, Pedro Pascal shot in the movie. I would say it's probably required. It's probably part of his contract at this point. I would say that in this being on the big screen, got to remove the helmet, right?
Mandalorian, you will suffer. Then it will be his turn.
You know, I don't know if he's going to speak his first words, 3-star. I mean, I'm trying to remember if he's said anything at all. Like anything at all in any of the last season or whatever. If he just barely, right? You know, I can't remember. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to see any more Cad Bane, Shane. That's a damn shame. But I don't think so.
Monsters. The old protect the young. And then the young protect the old.
Okay. He's older than you, dude. Like, I'm still calling this dude a baby. We're still calling this dude a baby. I forgot all about that. Yeah. You know, protecting the young and then the young protecting the old. It's an interesting concept, right? I get what you're saying. Okay, I'm not dumb.
It's time.
Nope. And there is what's his name from Rebels? Zeb from Rebels in live action. You know, look, doesn't look terrible. I did run into him in a cantina where Dave Filoni also was in the same shot. But Zeb doesn't look terrible. I don't know that this is a character that's going to bring people in, though. Right? Using the member berries, using the walkers, you know, maybe using an ATST or those little Clone Wars, piloted walkers, two-legged walkers. X-wings, Y-wings, we may see snow speeders, who knows. You're getting the Razor Crest for those that are fans of the show. I don't know if Zeb is going to bring people in and go, look, it's Zeb. It's fucking Zeb. I don't know if that's going to happen.
Are you scared? You should be.
It's a shame that Carl Weathers is not with us anymore. What's going on, soul brother number 1? Pound to you. What's happening?
Good job, baby.
Oh, it's the Babu Fricks. It's the Babu Fricks. It's the Babu Fricks, y'all. There they are. Every one of them, they're named Babu Frick.
This is the way.
Yeah, I don't know. This is the way to a solo type box office, in my opinion. This is the way to a solo type box office, folks. It's just, man, like, it just feels like we're looking at We're looking at 300. We're looking at 300, $400 million. Maybe. It just doesn't seem like this is going to really be that thing. War Chest, what's going on, man? It really seems to me like this movie is just not having enough traction. I talked about the trailer on the official Star Wars YouTube channel has 3.8 million views in 3 days. That is just brutal. I mean, just brutal. And it's not for me not wanting it to succeed. Like, I want the Star Wars IP to be where it should be, right? But, you know, they've done so much damage to it that the first Star Wars film since 2019, and no one's talking about it. No one's talking about it. I talk about this stuff at work, and no one's even bringing it up. I'll ask it, what movies are you guys excited about? Any movies? Y'all going to see anything this summer? I'll bring up a few of the movies that are coming up. I'll even pull up my phone and kind of go, you know, what about? And it just, man, there's no buzz. There's no buzz at all. This kind of brings me to Variety reporting on CinemaCon, and the first 17 minutes of the film, or at least it's 17 minutes of the film, was shown at CinemaCon. And we're gonna look at this article for a second and just talk about it. So, The Mandalorian and Grogu will hit theaters next month. With the first 17 minutes of the film. So the first 17 minutes of the film were shown during Disney's presentation at CinemaCon, the annual convention for movie theater owners held in Las Vegas. We know the roundup, right? Pedro Pascal, we have Grogu, we have Sigourney Weaver as a New Republic leader named Ward, Jeremy Allen White as the voice of Rada the Hutt, and the son of Jabba. Okay, it's going to be out on the 22nd, right? Jon Favreau took the CinemaCon stage to debut the opening 17 minutes of the film, which saw, now here's a rundown, okay, this is what you're going to hear about. It saw Mando infiltrate a secret meeting of Empire sympathizers and blow up massive AT-AT walkers on a snowy planet. The bounty hunter shot, stabbed, and flamethrowered his way through the base full of snow troopers, with Grogu helping along the way. The Empire leader sends out a recon droid, which meets an explosive end when Grogu uses the Force on it. The heroes steal a mini AT-ST walker and sprint down snow-covered cliffs, dodging AT-AT footsteps and lasers. We saw part of that in the trailer. Mando uses a bomb to trip one of the lumbering mechs, sending it crashing down the mountain, then jetpacks up to the hatch of another. The Empire baddie zooms away on an escape pod, but Mando overrides the AT-AT blasters and shoots him out of the sky. After completing their mission, Mando, Grogu, and their pilot Zeb from Star Wars Rebels fly back to the New Republic base and report to Weaver's ward. All right? She chastises them for killing their Empire target without getting any intel, but hands them their next mission: rescue Rada the Hutt from rival gangsters. They board a shiny, brand new ship and fly off into space. So that's the first 17 minutes of the film. Right there. In a nutshell. Someone help get me out of this nutshell. Now, this marks the first big screen Star Wars story to release since 2019's The Rise of Skywalker. The impressive footage had plenty of explosive Mandalorian action, adorable Baby Yoda gags. Is that what you guys want? Do you want adorable Baby Yoda gags? And new Star Wars enemies and tech. The Snow Troopers were dressed in different armor than the Hoth soldiers from Empire Strikes Back. Didn't look like it to me. And Mando's ATST was a smaller, nimbler version than what we saw on Endor in Return of the Jedi. Well, the one he's driving, is reminiscent of the little walkers that the clones used in the Clone Wars. Rather than start with the iconic opening crawl of past Star Wars movies, The Mandalorian and Grogu begins with static yellow text explaining where the fledgling New Republic stands in the wake of the Empire's fall. This kind of all is coming together, so to speak, right? With Ahsoka, they did Skeleton Crew, they did Boba Fett. This is all taking place in the period after Return of the Jedi, and 25 years before the First Order rises in The Force Awakens. The New Republic tries to keep order in the galaxy, but there's still remnants of stormtroopers and Empire forces hiding out. Other shows like Obi-Wan and/or The Acolyte explored other timelines in Star Wars history as the franchise expanded on the small screen. You also have next year Starfighter with Ryan Gosling. I have more hope because I think from the acting standpoint, the people that are in it, I think this is going to come across as another episode of The Mandalorian. I think, and you know, War Chest, yeah, a bunch of hand clapping, check cashing bootlickers trying to sell dog shit to the masses. Hey, you might get that new. Hang on, here it is. Hang on, let me find it again. You might get those new snow troopers dressed in different armor than the Hoth soldiers from Empire Strikes Back. Black Series figures. That's what the official name is going to be on the box. Snow troopers, comma, dressed in different armor than the Hoth soldiers from the Empire Strikes Back. Exclamation mark. Look, I would love for Baby Yoda to do a pull my finger force trick on Din Djarin. That would be absolutely amazing. It absolutely would be. Baby Yoda gags or Banthu Poodoo. I agree. Yeah, look, you know, and that's the problem, right? This is going to come across as another episode of The Mandalorian. I don't think this is really meant for the big screen. I think that this is not going to resonate with new audience members. I don't think it's going to draw in people. And I think Star Wars fans, as you see by the lack of interest in it, right? The Budweiser themed trailer, right, during the Super Bowl with the Clydesdales, or at least the theme that tribute that Zoomers have no clue what the fuck that is. I think when you see that, not only are they out of touch, which, by the way, Disney laid off a ton of people recently, mostly from their marketing team, because their marketing has been brutally awful. They have been unable to drill interest, to put interest in people's heads about this film. And you're going to get a ton of member berries, right? I mean, it is going to be member berry full, as you just saw in the description of the first 17 minutes, because this article itself is nothing but member berries talking about AT-ATs and ATSTs, right? You're talking about snow troopers. You're talking about you've seen X-Wings in the trailer. You saw a Y-Wing, right? You see Gold Squadron, right? You know, all the symbolism is there. Now, you can't escape it. But it seems like what Star Wars is now is self-referential at this point. It's just self-referential. And I don't know that they can do away or get away from that. I think they're pretty much stuck in that cycle. And with Dave Filoni in charge, I don't know what else they can do. And I think everything's going to come across as self-referential, and it's going to be member berries all the time. That's really what I'm worried about. Warchest says, why would anyone go pay to see the next installment of Mando when the last season was shit? I agree. And they didn't wrap up half the stories they started. They should just start their own Marvel-style multiverse. I don't know where they go. I really don't. Maybe you guys have some ideas. I don't know where they go from here. I don't know what you do with Star Wars at this point. You know, and part of what I was talking about earlier is, and in the description for the stream tonight, for Star Wars, moving forward, what does that look like? To me, they're waiting on George Lucas to die, and then they're going to remake the original trilogy. I firmly believe that. I think their plan is to wait on Lucas to die and then remake the OT. I think that's what they've been wanting to do for some time. I think Kathleen Kennedy was holding out hope that George would die. And it sounds crass to say that, but these people are horrible people. I mean, they're horrible people. And in that industry, when you're talking about the blowback, if they tried to reboot the OT and George is still alive, it would not look good. It would not look good. There'd be so much backlash on their part. And I feel that as soon as George dies, they will put in motion plans to remake the original trilogy. They will start casting or looking for casting. And it's going to happen, without a doubt. And in a way, it may be the only way to get people back in seats. It's the worst way, but it might be their only way. G.I. Jetman says, I don't care about Star Wars anymore. Yeah, there's a lot of people that way. And I think a lot of the shows, unfortunately, did so much damage to the brand. And Disney did so much damage to the brand that right now, the first Star Wars movie in 7 years is drawing little to no interest. And, you know, if we look up, let's see here. I want to look up the box office weekend for Solo and see if and see what that did, that opening weekend. Star Wars, a Solo Story. Box office opening weekend. Star Wars, a Solo Story underperformed significantly, opening to a franchise low $84.4 million in its 3-day domestic weekend. Now, remember, this came out after The Last Jedi, before Rise of Skywalker, when there were current movies, when there were current Star Wars movies out in the theater. So, you're talking about Solo when Star Wars was still an IP to be banked upon, even though Disney didn't do it, coming out at a time. It should have been like Captain Marvel. It should have been like Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel was a shit film. It made $1 billion because the MCU was on a roll. It was sandwiched between Infinity War and Endgame. And they made it seem like you had to see this film. You had to see this film. $84 million in 3 days for a Star Wars film about a beloved character. His origin story. And $84 million. 4-day period, $103 over a Memorial Day frame. Projections originally suggested $130 to $170 million opening. But the film bombed, grossing only $393 million worldwide against an estimated $275 to $500 million production and marketing budget. Now, so what do you guys think then? If Solo did $393 million, so let's just say $400 million, okay, grossed only $400 million worldwide. Do you think the Mandalorian and Grogu is going to do $400 million? Like, I mean, you tell me. Let's see here, and hopefully, just to let you guys know, my chat is on StreamYard going bonkers. So I'm gonna have to pull up YouTube just to make sure, in case any of you guys are actually chatting, because it is kind of just stuck right now. So I want to make sure. Let's see, unless I've been taken off the, unless I've been taken offline, which wouldn't surprise me. Okay, War Chest Joe fan. Yeah, I'm out of Star Wars. Okay, good. I just want to make sure that I have not lost anything. Yeah, look, man, I get it, right? I get it, and nobody is going to go see this movie. No one's going to go see Supergirl, and it's not that their IP that people don't give a shit about. It's just, I think the general public and the fans have been burned so many times at this point by the creators, they've lost interest. And it seems like a lot of you guys have lost interest in these properties. So moving forward, for Star Wars in particular, this movie, in my opinion, is not going to help the brand. It's not going to help propel it forward. It's not going to get butts in seats. Tickets went on sale. Tickets went on sale. So let's take a look. Let's take a look and see if we can get tickets. Or at least let's just look up. Let's go to Fandango. Let's look up tickets and let's just see if we can snag Mandalorian and Grogu tickets and see if any seats have been sold. Let's see. Page unresponsive. Yeah. Exit the page. Thank you. Let's try again. Fandango isn't want to play nice. Okay, don't play. Showtimes. Maybe we can get it this way. All right, let's see here. Standard. 6:45 p.m. Okay, here we go. 6:45 p.m. May 21st, a Thursday night. As you can see, there are a lot of available seats. Let's go to Friday. At 7:30. A lot of available seats. Let's go to Saturday. 7:30. No one is pre-purchasing tickets for this. No one is pre-purchasing tickets for this movie. This movie comes out in just a few days. Or not a few days, next month. My bad. So, no one's really pre-purchasing tickets for this. No one is worried about not being able to get a seat for this movie. So, it's pretty evident, right? Now, plenty of time out. You're a month out. It'll make $100 million. On opening weekend, I don't know about that. Overall, I think it's going to make over $100 million for sure. Will it make $400 million like Solo? Man, that's a tough call. That's a tough guess. Let's see what the projections are, shall we? Mando Grogu projections. Ooh. A soft $70 to $85 million opening weekend. Yikes. $166 million budget. it has to make $400 million, at least $400 million. And really, that's that, man. Wow. Wowie. $70 to $85 million. That's brutal. Yeah, the Michael Jackson biopic is going to make a lot of money. I think people are far more interested in that. Far more interested in the music of the Michael Jackson biopic. And worldwide, you have to imagine how many more people that's going to reach worldwide with Michael Jackson than The Mandalorian, for instance. Yeah, about as soft as Pascal in a Sydney Sweeney movie. That's what's sad, Garaf. You're 100% correct on that. Like 100% correct on that. Oh my God, I have to. I don't even know why this even. I don't even know why this came into my mind. Okay, so we all agree this movie probably not going to do much. Your interest level may vary, folks. I couldn't help it, but this got sent to me the other day, and it had me thinking about the That's a Man, Baby. Sean Penn's girlfriend, Valeria Nikov. That's a Man, baby. Giraffe, when you said as soft as Pascal at a Sydney Sweeney movie, I don't know why in the world I thought of Pascal, and then I thought about him and him being gay, and then it led me to Sean Penn, who was in that terrible One Battle After Another movie as a freak, whatever he was, and then it led me to real life, and then I wanted to show this picture of him with his girlfriend. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I don't know. Okay. Okay, sorry. I can't help myself. All right. So anyway, yeah, look. Mando Grogu, it ain't cutting it, kids. Not gonna make the cut. Which brings me to this movie. And I know some of you are excited about this movie. Super excited about this movie. Give me 2 seconds here. Okay. So, this brings me to Avengers Doomsday. Kevin Feige says Avengers Doomsday picks up right where Avengers Endgame left off. Okay, that's convenient because does that mean that none of this shit mattered? Did none of this shit matter? Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternal, Spider-Man. We have Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, Thor: Love and Thunder, Black Panther 2, Captain Marvel 2, Marvel, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, No Blade, Quantum Mania, Fantastic Four, WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, What If, Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Hawkeye, Miss Marvel, Ironheart, Secret Invasion. So none of that shit matters then, right? If Doomsday picks up right where Avengers Endgame left off, then Phase 4 through whatever we're at doesn't matter. No, they didn't get me. Okay, so if you do not want to hear this, then you might want to, as who was it? It was Bad English, or was it who was it? Mr. Big. It was Bad English, right? Or is it? No, it's Bad Company. Look away, baby, look away. All right, baby, look away. If you do not want to hear about the trailer description from CinemaCon, then look away. If you don't care, then I'm about to describe what was shown at CinemaCon. Now, this information is out there. People are talking about it on social media. And therefore, I want to bring it up and talk about it here. All right. Avengers Doomsday trailer description reveals Doctor Doom's accent, Shang-Chi versus Gambit, and a big reunion. All right. A new Avengers Doomsday trailer was shown to CinemaCon attendees earlier this evening. This was 3 days ago. We have a full in-depth recap of everything revealed in the jaw-dropping sneak peek. All right. As expected, Marvel Studios brought Avengers Doomsday to CinemaCon, confirming that the movie will be released on December 18th as planned. Despite speculation to the contrary, it won't back down from Doom Part 3 and move up a week. So that's Kevin Feige confirming the 18th of December, right before Christmas. Ready for Christmas break for all the youngsters. All right. Doctor Doom, this is a quote. Doctor Doom is not simply a villain. He's one of the most complex Marvel characters. He's always 3 moves ahead. Filmmaker Joe Russo told attendees in Las Vegas, declaring Doom an even greater threat than the Infinity Saga's big bad Thanos. Now, what else do you think he's supposed to say there? Do you guys think that he's supposed to say, well, Doctor Doom's a cool character, and we're trying to get as many butts back in the seats as we can and bring some cred back to the MCU. And this guy is a bigger threat than Thanos. Now, if you guys remember, there was a lot of build-up to Thanos, right? We got to see post-credit scenes with Thanos. We got to hear references of Thanos. We got to see in other movies the build-up of Thanos. We've had zero build-up of Doctor Doom. Zero. We had more build-up of We Was Kangs than of Doctor Doom. We even got Kang in the Ant-Man movie, right? So there was more build-up for a big baddie that was supposed to be the big bad, who got canned after his assault allegations and went to court. We got more build-up for Kang than we've had for Doctor Doom. We've gotten none for Doctor Doom. And yet, for this movie, to market this movie, of course, Joe Russo is going to say Doom is a greater threat than Thanos. Do people believe that? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. In terms of news, there were no major announcements But Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania star Catherine Newton is now confirmed to reprise her role as Cassie Lang in Avengers Doomsday. So, moving forward, I think they're going to really focus on the young Avengers, new Avengers, and lean into the kids, or at least lean into like new Avengers, younger people. I don't think it's going to work because I don't think anybody gives a shit about Cassie Lang. That news alone, no one cares about this sentence right here. No one. The trailer was shown twice and has not been released online. That could change in the coming days or weeks. It will likely play with the Mandalorian and Grogu, but in the meantime, we have some descriptions for you. The first of those comes from Variety, which confirms we'll see the multiverse's mightiest heroes fighting each other and Doctor Doom. Okay, here you go. All right, here you go. G.I. Jetman says, I like Doctor Doom better than Thanos. We've had 80 years of Doctor Doom build-up. Doom rules all. Now, here's the deal. I'm not saying that there hasn't been comic build-up or cartoon build-up. When you're talking about trying to get the numbers and the people back in the seats, okay, that's the normal audience, the mainstream audience, who has no comics, who has no knowledge. But they had several films that they went to that laid the breadcrumbs for Thanos. And I think that the build up to Thanos, culminating with Infinity War, which is a far better movie than Endgame, showed not even how bad Thanos can be, because he's quite reasonable, thoughtful, measured. But you had build-up from film to film to film. We've had no build-up for Doctor Doom. Zero. None. Okay? Zero. And Marvel has been guilty of this in these past few years, of putting things or characters into their movies of stuff that happened in D plus shows. And regular audience members come in and they go, who the fuck is that? Why is Scarlet Witch a bad guy now? Does that make sense? Who is Monica Rambeau? Most people don't know. So you guys, I understand, will know, right? However, the mainstream audience, they know who Doctor Doom is, but they haven't had any films or at least any shows to build him up. And that's where I think this is going to come as just a big surprise, right? And if we remember, not that many people went to see Fantastic Four either, right? As 3-Star says, Doom is greater than Thanos, assuming they can pull it off, because they sure did pull it off with Thanos. Exactly. Now, we all know Robert Downey Jr. is going to be playing Doctor Doom. Within the MCU, Robert Downey Jr. is a superstar, right? The problem is, again, he's going to be playing Doctor Doom. And you're going to have mainstream audience members coming in and going, that's Iron Man. That's Tony Stark. Because you have to think about it. Most people don't keep up with the pop culture news. Most people don't keep up with the reveal that Robert Downey is playing Doctor Doom. Most people don't read those articles. Most people don't even really watch those trailers, possibly, or little tidbits. So therefore, there's going to be a ton of people come into this, and they're going to see Robert Downey Jr. on screen as Doom, and they're going to be like, what the fuck? What is happening? That's Tony Stark. That's Iron Man. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so from that perspective. Can they pull it off? I'm not saying they can't, but they're going to have to work hard to do it. what I worry about are the things that I've heard about the movie. And here is part of the trailer that they showed at CinemaCon. The trailer starts with a look at Downey Jr.'s green-hooded, metal-faced Doctor Doom as he prepares to invade the multiverse. There's a shot of Professor Xavier looking out of his X-Mansion's window as a bright flash of light is outside, signaling trouble. It's a flood of crossovers from there. Gambit and Shang-Chi battle. That massive Gambit versus Shang-Chi battle. Mystique transforms into Yelena Belova, resulting in a Florence Pugh versus Florence Pugh fight. Pew pew. And Thor and Doom face off. But Doom catches Thor's magical hammer, Mjolnir, with his bare hands. The most shocking moment comes when Chris Evans' Steve Rogers return and meets Thor, taking his hammer from him like he did in Endgame. Others in attendance say Dr. Doom speaks with an accent. We're also hearing that when the villain stops Thor's hammer, he does so with just 2 fingers. We hear the words, "Something's coming," something we may not be able to deter, over the ruins of the X-Mansion. We see Dr. Doom kneeling, and his face looks scarred. Thor remarks that he's fought many enemies and threats that scare him less than this, saying all his heroes and friends died. Everything they sacrificed will mean nothing if they don't stand together. We get footage of Thor approaching Doom with Stormbreaker. The Fantastic Four meet the MCU heroes. Shang-Chi fights Gambit. Mystique turns into Yelena. Thor leaps at Doom with Stormbreaker in hand, and Doom stops it at once. And then we get the Steve Rogers approaches, such and such. It says an official shot of Downey's Doom was also shown. By now, it will be familiar to most of you, but you can take a closer look at the X post below. Let's see if I can find it. Here is a post of the official look. And Matthew and I will be going over some of this information from CinemaCon about Disney and their numbers and IP. If you guys can see that, that is the official look of Dr. Doom. So I'm with you, War Chest. I think two fingers only enhances the hammer and the shocker. Let's see here. Chad Jetman says, remember, Pop, 4 of the best movies in the MCU were directed by the Russo brothers. I mean, I think John, Favreau in particular. I think the Russos. Lest we forget also the original Avengers movie, Joss Whedon. So there's contenders out there, right? Obviously, Infinity War was fantastic. A great culmination. This trailer that was shown to the audience, I mean, look, I think the biggest problem with this movie upcoming is it'll be fun. I mean, I have no doubt, like, it will be fun. My biggest worry is, they have too many people they're trying to cram in. And when we see these fight scenes, I worry that what we really see is going to be just a member berries of, there's Gambit. There's the Beast. There, like, there's this character, that character, B, C, D, Z list characters. You know, are we bringing in the X-Men to then kill the X-Men from the original films? I mean, is that what we're doing? Because that's what it seems like. That's going to piss a lot of people off, man. You know, if we have all these characters come in and they're on screen for less than 30 seconds, right? If they get one line of dialogue. As cool as it sounds, having all these characters, you're talking about possibly bringing a lot of these characters in to literally just kill them off. And I don't think that's going to make a lot of people happy. 3 stars says, what I want to know is this Victor Von Doom, or is this an alternate reality where Tony Stark became Doom instead of Iron Man? Supposedly Deadpool ended the multiverse nonsense. So, unless they pull something off before they start to do Secret Wars, I mean, this is Doom. I mean, this is Victor. And I think that's, again, going to throw a curveball to people watching the film, because they're going to see Tony Stark, and he's not Tony Stark. You know what I mean? And they're going to go, well, I don't understand. What the fuck is going on? And people are going to assume this is, again, a multiverse trick, because at this point now you have to understand, because they killed off Tony Stark and they turned Captain America into an old man who obviously is coming back as Steve Rogers. Is he coming back as Captain America? You and I both know they'll never take that mantle away from Falcon. I mean, not now. They can't do that, right? If they do that, can you imagine what the magazines will say? Can you imagine what social media will do? Can you imagine the same olds, wondering how in the world that Steve Rogers, this white guy, could take away a black man's shield? I mean, that, you know, that's what it would be portrayed as if he comes back as Captain America. What I believe they're going to do is there's going to be a moment where it's possible people think he's going to become Captain America, and they're going to have Steve Rogers make some kind of statement that he's back, he's as Steve Rogers. He doesn't want to be Captain America, or he doesn't want to take away that shine from Falcon. I think they're going to address it that way. But as far as this being an alternate reality, I don't think so. Baby Doom in this, steal the Fantastic Four's hover, baby buggy, and race the streets of New York City. Well, ultimately, this movie trilogy, is it trilogy, I think, they're trying to make out of this Doomsday thing, is all about the younger child. The Richards child, right? That's what it's all about. The Richards kid is the most powerful person in the universe. And Graf also says it'd be a miracle if Marvel writing staff comes up with a decent Marvel movie. I mean, that's what I think. I think it's going to be extremely, extremely hard. G.I. Jetman, you're right. In the comics, they are somewhat interconnected, but that is a whole nother ball game, and they're not. I don't think they're going there. I don't think they're going to do the whole inherit the body thing. I don't think that's what's going to happen here. But I know what you're talking about in the comics, for sure. Let's see. Work just says, doesn't matter how many stars they bring back, the cost is too high. That's the other problem. This budget is reported to be over $700 million. And if they film in the UK, which I think they have been, right, is that we're going to get those numbers in a few years. It'll take a few years, but we'll get those numbers. We'll find out what that actual budget is so they can get that write-off. But it's reported to be $700 million. And in that context, that is an unbelievable amount of money to spend. That means they are banking on this to be massive and I just don't know if it's going to be that massive. I would, Martha. Well hung banana hammocks. What is up? How you been? Too many vegetables in the stew, in my opinion. I'm a carnivore. I only need meat. Rawr. Aren't we frisky tonight? Yeah, listen. Too many characters. Too many characters. And it's going to come across as not the way they intend it to. Is it going to look cool? Probably so. Are there going to be some cool action scenes? Probably so. Is it all going to be just for show? Probably so. Right? And that's what I hate. Because you're getting member-berry characters who are going to get a moment to shine for nothing. They're going to die. Because you remember the rumor is they kill off Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man at the beginning of this film. Like his universe. Could they do an X-Men First Class? Maybe those old Fox mutants morph into new actors playing those characters. Could we? So John Cena comes back as Gambit. It is going to be what's his name? If I'm not mistaken, it's Channing Tatum. John Cena was born to play Sue Storm. I agree. He can also apologize to China too. Graf says, you can't see me, dude. Then drop his WWE intro music. Yes. I don't think Falcon is going to hand it to him, Eric. I think he's going to try. But I don't think Steve is going to accept. I just don't think so. Shane says Steve gets to be Commander Rogers and Bucky will get the shield. It's possible. I don't think Steve is around to stay. I think they're going to, leading into Secret Wars, I don't know if these characters are going to stay, man. These guys are getting too old. They're getting too old. Downey Jr. getting too old to play these roles. Chris Evans hadn't been able to do shit since Marvel movies. He needs this, y'all. He needs a boathouse. My Monday balloon is ready for school trolling, says Stanley Everhard Jr. the Third. Nice. Yeah, Channing. I had a feeling that's who you were talking about. I was like, John Cena? That would be wild. But yeah, I just I just wonder if this truly is for $700 million, what are they gonna get out of this? I mean, this movie is gonna have to do $2 billion, right? Like, I don't think that's going to happen. I just don't know in today's movie climate that any movie can reach those heights. It's gonna be really difficult. I did see this though. Via Fandango. Kevin Feige says Avengers Doomsday used some of the sets from the X-Men movies. So, and I love this response here. Kevin Feige bragged about reusing 20-year-old X-Men sets, then called this smart cost cutting. Can you imagine? They still have those sets 26 years later? I mean, I just can't even, 30 years later? Or 27 years. That's amazing to me. They still have those sets from those movies. I just can't. I can't see it. But if Kevin Feige says it's true, it must be true. Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think so, Graf. So, moving forward, though, and that's the thing. Moving forward, I just don't know what this is going to do for the MCU. And I just don't. Again, if the budget is $700 million, and that is, to me, I would speculate that's on like the low end. I mean, they need people back to see these movies. And if this does not make money, and I don't even know if they care if it makes money. See, that's the other trick. I think they want the interest level back up there. If they can get the interest level back up there and get people excited again, even if that means people go back and watch it on Disney Plus. If people go back and watch it on Disney Plus, but maybe didn't go see it at the theater, but they can watch it and get excited for the next one, then maybe the payoff is in the next film. But I cannot imagine spending $700 million on a film and not expect it to do over $2 billion. Like, I just can't. I can't imagine that. The marketing blitz will ramp up, though, as we get closer and closer and closer to December. But I'm curious, when they're walking the red carpet, are we going to get to hear this?
The gayest project Marvel has ever done.
What do you guys think? Do you think Doomsday will be
the gayest project Marvel has ever done?
I'm not so sure. No, so Eric, this was shown at CinemaCon. This is not out. They actually used a certain technology, from what I understand, during the playing of the trailer, or what they played at CinemaCon. And they used this like green tech or something, and it's like makes it so if you tried to record it on your phone, it would like fuck up the picture of it or something like that. That's what I read. Is this going to be a trilogy? Yeah, I think they're trying to take this into like 3 films, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's going to require that with this many characters, unless you're literally just bringing these characters in to kill them off. If that's in fact, that is your goal, is to just give everybody a bunch of member berries and just kill all these people off from the past. Kill the past if you have to. Famous words from the sequel Star Wars trilogy. I think it would be a huge mistake, but it sounds like that's what they're doing. And then they need a second or a third movie to bring all those people back. So I guess, I mean, it's, you know. The blip was one of the biggest mistakes that they could have made in the MCU. Having people come back after 5 years. Not recasting the Avengers. And trying to move on with these guys when they're in their 60s, late 60s, 50s, and whatever. Right? I think that's the part that's tough. Yeah, Arrowverse just killed off a bunch of DC heroes from old shows, right? Even the 68 Batman. Yeah, poor Robin. Yeah, I'd feel bad if I had to wear that cod piece too. Right? A little green, scaly-looking cod piece with them gay green boots. Yeah, I'd be pissed. They might well kill me off. How could you live with yourself? So I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what this is going to do for the MCU moving forward. We know that after Endgame, each phase successive, and most of the Disney Plus shows they showed were pretty shit. Fans voted with their wallets and did not go support these movies, and they did not go support these shows. They lost interest, just like Star Wars. Difference with Star Wars and the Marvel universe is that Marvel being hotter recently, what they did with all 30 whatever films, 37 films or whatever it is, 39 films, 37 films, and the interconnectedness that they were able to do with that is unprecedented. It was amazing, regardless of the results in the last few years. I think the MCU has a better chance to revive itself. It being the hotness is fresher in people's minds. Star Wars, they set that shit on fire. They took a big old shit in a paper bag and they put it on every fan's doorstep, and they lit that shit on fire, and they let every fan open that door and step on that bag of shit. That's what Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm did to Star Wars. Period. At least the MCU, I think, has a chance. You're bringing out the big guns. Star Wars, you're not bringing out the big guns in the movie theater. You're just not. And I don't know what you do to bring out the big guns. Part of me wants to see them do Knights of the Old Republic. You know, part of me wants to see them do Jedi Outcast. Right? Dark Forces. Kyle Katarn. They're not going to do it. They're absolutely not going to do it. There will be no Mara Jade because authors have been asking Lucasfilm over the past several years if they could write books about Mara Jade, and they have been told straight up, fuck no. Do not use that character. You cannot use that character. Period. They do not want Mara Jade. You know, effectively, even though they've turned it into a girl's brand, they do not want Mara Jade as a part of anything. They don't want Luke Skywalker as a part of anything. Even though they'll bring the corpse of him in to guest star in The Mandalorian every now and then. They'll use a combination of CGI and an actor and combine them together to give us glimpses of a skinwalker, Luke Skinwalker. They do not want this brand to be a boys brand again. And those that think Dave Filoni wants that also, he wants that to not be the case, are sorely mistaken. Because Dave Filoni is one of the biggest male feminists on the planet. Plenty of evidence if you want it. You're more than welcome to watch videos of it. Maybe one day I'll show a bunch of them, because there are a ton of them. So I don't think Star Wars can climb the hill. I think the MCU can. I don't know. I just don't know if Star Wars can do it. Well Hung Banana Hammock says, if Hogan and Flair lasted so long, these guys can with AI and CGI. Well, and you see all these actors signing over their likenesses, right? Going to make their families money in the future. It's going to support them in the future. I suppose the MCU could use these guys as long as they wanted to. I think what they would have to do, in all honesty, is get these images of Steve Rogers and Robert Downey. I don't think anybody gives a fuck about Hulk, per se. But, Scarlett Johansson, she wants nothing to do with it. Jeremy Renner, and could they go back and use those characters 15 years from now? Sure. It's possible. I almost feel like they'd have to let it rest that long before they did. And if they tried to do something like that, I could see that. But the problem is nobody gives a fuck about any of the other characters. Nobody cares about D-list Avengers. Not enough people. You may. Not enough people care. They just don't. And so to sustain that, I just don't know if it's possible. Giraffe, if Spider-Man and last Deadpool movies weren't released, I wonder what the state of the MCU would be right now. Well, exactly. The Spider-Man movie, fantastic. Sony production, though, right? And And then Deadpool Wolverine, you know, I enjoyed that movie. A lot of people have gone back and rewatched it and said, it's not that great. It's fun, but it's not that great. There are parts of it I can understand people having problems with, but I enjoyed Deadpool Wolverine for what it was. I had fun with it. I thought it was fine. I would love to see those two characters have 2 or 3 of their own movies where they just go through and absolutely go ham on a bunch of shit. I just wonder if Deadpool's shtick would get old if you had him in a lot of stuff. I think it would get old. Let's see here. I hope they sent Sony and Ryan a Christmas card. Yeah, right. I don't think. No, Deadpool's not canceled. No. I think that character, specifically Ryan Reynolds, can get away with anything with that character. And I don't think enough people know about the Justin Baldoni thing. I don't think enough people care with his wife involved in that whole thing. I don't think anybody gives a shit. I think most people don't even know about it. Yeah, it's, you know, I was thinking that maybe a lot of people were you know, on the Justin Baldoni side thinking that Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively would get either canceled or that their star would fall, and I just don't think that's. I feel like some people are just untouchable, right? Yes, it did get thrown out, but I just feel like some people are just untouchable, man. I really do. It just seems that it's not too big to fail, but I think there's so much cred built up, particularly with Ryan Reynolds, that I just feel like that thing kind of went under the radar. Well hung says, don't you love it? Well hung says, Taylor Swift took the biggest ass kicking, but then her dad called Candace Owens to stop talking about it, so only smaller people still talk about it. Well, there is a guy who is a regular in my bar who actually works with her father, works with her dad, and has for many years. And he doesn't say a lot. He doesn't talk a lot about things, but he has a couple stories that have been pretty interesting about Taylor and her dad, and how planned out her entire career has been. Very planned out, very calculated. Very calculated. Ryan Reynolds and Ari Emanuel will get some heat. Ari had to step down at Tico to second in command. Yeah, I mean, internally, but I think with the general public, I just don't think a lot of people give a fuck about it. I think a lot of people look at it's just another news story. And I don't think it's enough to push Ryan Reynolds out of the MCU. I don't think it's enough to push him out of Deadpool. I just don't see that happening. Which shows you, Disney can pick and choose who they want to punish. Gina Carano. It shows you what they will and won't stand up for, right? Parental rights bill in Florida. And what they will push back on. It shows you what they will and won't accept, right? Shows you what they will and won't accept. So I do have a few stories to go over with Matthew on Tuesday night. We are going to watch the little Spaceballs 2 teaser with Mel Brooks, which is pretty funny. It's funny. I really worry about that film, to be completely honest with you. Spaceballs 2. We're going to look at Disney Studios' success over the last 10 plus years or so, or several years, many years. The different IP out of all the movie studios. And we're going to also look at Star Wars Land, the Star Wars world that they built and the changes that they're making with it, with the Batu, the Galaxy's Edge. We're gonna take a look at some of that stuff on Tuesday as well. Let's see here. What else we're gonna look at? Biggest news at CinemaCon. We're gonna take a look at the biggest news at CinemaCon on Tuesday night. We are going to look at and talk about these Doomsday leaks or this footage that's come out and discuss it. Get Matthew's thoughts on it. I want to get his thoughts on the Mandalorian and Grogu as well. Let's see. What else? He sent me... Well, I don't have my phone on me. He sent me a few little things. But yeah, we're going to take a look at a few things. We're going to talk about Johnny Depp, Jack Sparrow, what Disney was willing to do to try to get Captain Jack back on the big screen on Tuesday night. So yeah, there's a few things. We're going to also talk about the Taika Waititi Willy Wonka new movie. Whether you guys have heard about it or not, we're going to talk about it. There is a Netflix remake, a new Willy Wonka with Taika Waititi in a voiced role. He will star in a new Willy Wonka movie. And it is an interesting premise. The animation looks very androgynous, but the story is a very interesting take. I just don't know if anybody's asking for Willy Wonka to be mined again for ideas, especially when someone like Taika Waititi is involved. So we're going to take a look at that story as well on Tuesday. We are going to discuss Lenny as the lead topic on Tuesday night. It will come after the Circle of Jerks. And so, yes, the Evening Blend will air right here on my channel. That will be at 10 Eastern, 9 Central. So if you guys want to come in and hear our discussions about some of this stuff, because I want to get Matthew's thoughts on what I talked about a little bit tonight. We've got some other things. We are going to talk about Lenny leaving Hasbro and maybe what that means moving forward for Hasbro. They also are going to enduring some layoffs and some hard times. Disney also enduring some hard times. A lot of companies laying off a lot of people out there. So we've got some topics on Tuesday night. Hopefully you guys will join me and Matthew for that. But that's about all I got for tonight, folks. I am a little tired. I'm not going to lie. Had to close at work Saturday night and then open today. And so I'm a little dried out. Sinuses are a little dried out. So I apologize if I sound kind of stopped up to you guys. But nonetheless, I do appreciate you guys tuning in and hanging out with me and hearing me kind of, I say rant about Star Wars and Marvel, but I don't think it's ranting at all. But we'll discuss this again on Tuesday night, man. I hope you guys can make it. Like I said, it'll be after Circle of Jerks, which I know a lot of you guys will be watching. And Graph, we will talk about Spaceballs 2 and also Godzilla as well. I can't wait for Godzilla in particular. I would love to see... I don't want to see a Three Amigos reboot. Well hung. Or a well-hung Three Amigos reboot. Which actually, maybe I've seen that movie. I just can't tell you guys about it. A wink, wink. But, yeah, man. Once you guys get done with Circle of Jerks, man, we'll be going on soon thereafter. So, yeah, stop by. Come holler at us. Well hung. Make some more streams, man. If you ain't doing nothing Tuesday night, come right back over here and we'll be live, man. And I will catch you guys on the Evening Blend on Tuesday night. Until then, I do love you all. And
so long, gay boys.